Yesterday we did start a new series, and in this series we're talking about potential. Of course, potential is one of those keywords that we're going to talk about. If this podcast is about purpose, productivity, and resilience, we cannot go for a long time without talking about potential. And I know it's quite a while since we talked about that subject matter, but I wanted us to start talking about how you can determine, how you can know that you are not fulfilling your potential. In so doing, you will know, of course, you already have known that you have potential working inside of you, or potential capacity available inside of you. But you can tell that, wait 1 minute, I am not living my potential. I am living way below my privileges. And that's what I want us to look at. And yesterday we formed a foundation. We created a foundation. I want to build on that foundation today before we can start looking at the very reasons as to why. the very ways we can be able to tell and determine that we are not living our potential. So today, let us set it up and stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
I ended yesterday's episode by saying that the most sinister thing about potential is that it remains in its name. It remains in its definition. Its definition never really changes. That one can easily say that the most sinister thing about potential is it remains faithful in its definition. It's never exploited, because potential is untapped, unexploited, unused, unspent capacity, unspent force. Is the capacity for the future. That's the most sinister thing about it. Invariably, we do see flashes of potential. When you're watching football, they will tell you that there's a player who shows flashes of his brilliance. It's a player called Nicolas Pepe. He was bought for £76 million to the Arsenal in the UK. And all we've talked about this man in 4 years right now is flashes of brilliance, showing his potential. It has not been realized yet. That's the thing about potential, that there is a promise which doesn't get cashed at the end of the day. And it can be a very big loss. A very big loss in the world. Of course, you cannot quantify the loss. If you knew I could be able to write, and maybe write a bestseller, but I don't write, it's a loss to the world which we don't know the loss. That's why Miles Monroe comes and says that the richest place is the graveyard, because in the graveyard people go with potential, unused force, unused energy, unused talent, gifts, ideas, capacities, potential. It could be, but it wasn't. That's the sorriest thing about potential. So if we are preparing ourselves to know how we can tell that we are not utilizing our potential, we need to understand some background information. The richest place is the graveyard, Miles Monroe. Why? Because people go there when potential remains just that, potential. even as we speak. You know, there's a guy called Henry Ford, either Henry Ford or it was Thomas Edison. Keep confusing the two on this saying that if we did everything we are capable of doing, we will literally astound ourselves. I don't know why we are always in a hurry. It's like we're eating I don't know. There is this graphic I saw in social media of dozens of mangoes half eaten, each of them been beaten once and left there. It's a sorry thing to see. The caption is even sickening, by the way. I don't want to talk about the caption. But that's exactly how we treat our potential. You know you could write, and what do? You write something once, you forget about it, and you move on to another thing. What are we looking for in this world? What is it that we really want? I tell you what it is that we are looking for, and we think that that's the be-all. We're looking for money. That's it. We're looking for money. We're looking for direct benefits. But you see, potential is not something that you get money directly from. That's why we don't follow it. Potential is like a tree. It's like a eucalyptus tree, which has got to be planted, and you've got to be patient for years on end. 10 years at the very minimum. And those 10 years I'm talking about is not 10 years of doing nothing. It's 10 years of capacity building, 10 years of incessant hard work, 10 years of consistent application, 10 years of risking and daring, 10 years of just being patient and waiting. That's when it starts coming up. But we don't follow that. Why? Because we are looking for handouts. We're looking for getting rich quick. We're looking for things that can make sense to us right now, immediately. And there are different reasons as to why this is so. And part of the reasons are personal, as they can be attributed to individuals. Varies from one person to another. However, part of the reasons as to why potential is not exploited are communal or even societal. I talked about these things, some of these things in the episodes previously in the previous series. So we're talking about two things. We're talking about people not fulfilling their potential because of individual reasons. We can individually blame them, can individually hold them accountable for that. They can be culpable for themselves. And I do believe that this cuts across. This is the majority. You cannot blame the world. You cannot blame your mama. You cannot blame your papa because they are in your life for just 20 years. After that, brother and sister, you cannot continue saying, my mama, my daddy, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. You can't. You cannot continue giving us that excuse, because at 20 years of age, you are the master of your own destiny, which is in your own hands. You can think for yourself, you can act for yourself, you can create a path for yourself from 20. People do these things even from 60. Ray Kroc. Oh, this guy for KFC, 69 years of age. That's when he started the franchise. 69! That's when he started the franchise. My point in saying that is that, honestly, we can only blame our parents as much. We can only blame our parents up to a particular level. But from then on, we are responsible for our lives. So you can be culpable for not fulfilling your potential as an individual. Culpable. But then again, let us not let these things off the hook. Societies, starter schools, systems, cultures that have been put into place, they play a very significant role in curtailing people's potential, in snuffing people's potential, in nipping them in the bud. Before they grow, they just snuff it off and just fight it. Just kill it. Because they're afraid. There's fear in society. There is fear in culture. There is fear for new things. It's there. And it can be responsible for curtailing people's potential. Either way, we have to look at ways that we can overcome these things so that we can start exploiting our God-given potential. So, starting tomorrow, we're going to start saying, why is it that you are not? 10 ways you can tell you are not fulfilling your potential. If I mention one way, you will know. If I mention the second way, you will know. Some of you, it's a combination of all the 10 ways that you're not fulfilling your potential. But starting tomorrow, some of the things you already know, we're going to start discussing them. But until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.